Hey you, apolitical person. Do you want your country to activate beast mode? Or do you want to take over the rest of the continent with just your country alone? Well, listen to me, and I'll explain why you need Flashism. Due to obvious reasons, such as YouTube having the IQ the same as its premium members, i.e. 5, I'll not write down what Flashism's meant to be, but come on, you're not that stupid. You all know what I'm talking about. With that, let's carry on with the propaganda to stop them. But there's also a hidden meaning to Flashism later on in the video. But anyway, let's enter the blue square of the authoritarian right. Human rights are not needed when a country goes beast mode. Your country was weak because it used the rule of law. What a peasant. You think you give a damn about your freedoms? You want freedom of speech? Are you taking the mick, you anarchist? But we don't do that here. What we do instead is a little sprinkle of ethnic cleansing here and there. But who cares about that when your nation becomes its own continent-sized imperium? Some of us are connoisseurs, you see. For the Japanese folk, they prefer the ways of the plain, and in yeeting enemies of the empire out of it. But brother, there's better to come. The German folk have a trick up their sleeve. They have trains. These trains can and will take you to a place you'll never forget, if you know what I mean. Are you a cooking guy, sir? Or just like us, you'll get many ovens to play with. And those trains just before, they bring the ingredients like a 20th century Deliveroo. But there's more spices to change the flavour, like Zyklon B and cyanide for a bitter and salty taste. We also like to pick and choose our history, which is something you may like, brother. We love the nice and stuff, but we also love to deny that a country was Christian even more. Ha! Religion? No. We know that God won't let us into heaven, so we're changing the game. We're going to that big boy goat guy Satan, see what he has to offer. Maybe he'll spiritually invest in our ideas like Dragon's Den. Archdemon Duncan Hammertime is there going to invest 6,000 human skulls into your idea for 40% of your empire, Mr. Hirohito? Because we have the devil on our side, we better make everything pagan, or the Pope may try to influence us. See, as a devil worshipper, we fascists do not like God, as it's a tomato-tomato situation, and it really doesn't resonate with us, and nothing at all to do with the fact that the church would do a little Inquisition sesh, drop-kicking us with religious intent until we're all dead. We also like a little smidgen of racism. I'm sure you like it too. You just have that look about you. Come on, a tiny race war like 42, the good old days. But let's ignore the fact that racial supremacy has absolutely no basis in science, because you just know in your heart that your race is better than others without even an ounce of evidence. Now, this part is the hidden meaning. So this lump of lard on your screen is my cat. His name, now rather ironically, is Flash. He stimulates fascist economics really rather well. If they had taken over the planet, in its kitten stage, Flash would be nigh unstoppable and grow and conquer his territories, i.e. our garden and neighbouring gardens, very, very fast. But as time continues, he would slow down and he'd have no need to have as much energy as he would have many gardens under his control. However, he's starting to turn into an old lump of lard and slows down to a significant rate as he's run out of things to fight, considering his power relied on beating the flip out of his enemies. This eventual slowness would allow other cats to reclaim their territories, and your boy Flash would get a rather few enemies to return the actions he did unto them. My cat is in fact called Flash, and bizarrely he seems a lot like fascist dictators and fascism in general. So you already know what faction he's a part of. Flashism. So let's do a quick rundown of him and fascism. He lays around and doesn't do anything but stretch, eat and sleep like the leaders. If you really like stuff, he'll just stroll in and attack you, like fascist states. And if you give him something, he will backstab you and attack you for no reason but to bully you. Sounds bad, right? But how can you hate an ideology who's personified by this fluffy little demon? But there's also a group called eco-fascists. These are the ones who care so deeply for the environment that they just stick a leaf over the bundle of sticks that we call a symbol and proclaim our acts of evil as protection of the environment. There's actually a very good book by Dr. Seuss called The Lorax. Let me just turn to the correct page. Oh yes, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees, and they tell me to exile minorities. We may have failed a bit, Italy a lot, but apart from the millions of people dead, the tens of millions of families grieving, the near total extinction of the Jewish and Gypsy races, or actually all races apart from white and Japanese ones for that matter, the attempt to try to exterminate the Jews, and they ended up having a Jewish Middle Eastern superstate because of our direct actions, dropping that Uno reverse card on us, and that nearly all of our sciences have been debunked time and time again. What is so bad about fascism? It looks bad, but once you start the ethnic cleansing, you'll be fine. Time will fly faster than the kamikaze planes into the American warboats. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. How rude of me. I need it so I can send this registration form to the CEO of Racism. Right, your name? David Cohen. Right, and your occupation? Rabbi? Right, okay. This is awkward. To stop you going to room 731, full of the first anti-vaxxers who engineered a legion of Karens to destroy the West by speaking to everyone's manager with a brute force attack. In all seriousness, I'm not a real fascist. If you think that, then you're just as stupid as a fascist. I'm actually annoyed because there are many jokes, yes, purely jokes, that I couldn't put in the video because of the stupid Malicious Communications Act 2009 and the European Court of Human Rights Article 14, which would most likely be taken out of context and could send me into prison for the sequence of pressure of air coming out of my voice box. That's annoyed Flash so much that he's now grown in person and moved to anarcho-capitalist, where no gov makes big bucks. But yes, have a good day and goodbye. I'll see you in the next video.